Let me tell you about a friend of mine. She met this guy, charming, handsome, successful, the kind you would introduce to your mother without thinking twice. But less than 1 year after the wedding, she was calling me at midnight and crying seriously. The man she thought was her dream man had become a nightmare. He had become somebody that she could not recognize any longer. Choosing the wrong partner is the most expensive decision you will ever make as a single person. It will drain you emotionally, it will drain you mentally, it's going to drain you financially. What does right partner even mean to you? If you can just jot down what a right partner really means to you, can you think that, okay, I'm looking for the right partner? What does a right partner mean to me? Personalize it. How would you see this person and say, okay, this person is the right partner to me? Most people confuse chemistry with compatibility because you see this person and you have that chemistry. They confuse it with compatibility. They confuse lust with love. They do not know the difference. Chemistry is that butterfly, that excitement that you constantly feel, that constant texting, smiling, all those hand gestures, like you are flattering someone. That immediate feelings you get when you see someone that you admire. Compatibility, it's your values, your lifestyle, your vision. Does it align with the person that you want to be in a relationship with? So listen, you can have great chemistry with somebody that will destroy your peace of mind. You can see a handsome guy, neat, smells nice, and you fall for the outer part of that person. You're only seeing the physical aspect of that person. You're not seeing what that person is made of. You've not seen his values. You've not seen what he likes or not. You've not seen if you are compatible with this person, if you align with his vision. That is where compatibility plays in finding the right partner. You don't just see somebody and because the physique matches what you think you should, who you think you should be with, and you say you are in love with this person. So let me break it down a little bit for you. One, does your value align? Do you even know your values? You first of all need to know your values. Does it align with this person? How do they see money? Are there people that make money and spend it, or they want to invest? How do they see money? And does their values about money align with yours? How do they see family? Do they see family as their enemies? Do they see family as the cause of their mishappenings in their life? How do they view family? And how do you also view your family? Are you from a family that is united, that is close knitted, that both of you, all of you are united, you care for one another, you want to be in one another's life, you want to know what is happening in your siblings' life, you want to help and assist them? Your partner, the person you are with presently, or the person you aspire to be with, how do they look at their family members? Do they see their family members as witches and wizards? Do they see their family members as people they cannot rely? Do they communicate to their family members? How do they treat their family members? Then, how is their faith? Whatsoever they worship, how is their faith in whatsoever they worship? Do they go to church? Do they believe in tithing? Do they believe in praying? Do they believe in fasting? Do they believe in casting and binding? What do they believe in? Then ask yourself, what do you believe in? If you're listening to this class, you need to put these things down. Write it in a pen and paper. Like you need to draw a line. Put yourself at the right. Put your partner or the person you aspire to be with at the left. How do you see money? What is your attraction to money? How do you handle money? How do you want your partner to handle money when you meet your partner or if you are in that relationship presently? Number two, family. How do you treat family? How do you see family? How do you want your family to be in the next 5 years? Put it down. Then put what you want to see in your partner, in that person. Put it the other way. Your faith. Are you a Muslim? Are you a Christian? Are you a traditionalist? How is your faith like? How is your religion like? Put it one side where you wrote your name, then put what you want to see in that partner on the other side. Then parenting. How were you parented? How did you grow up? Did you have a close relationship with your parents? Did they love you? Did they spend time with you? Did they mentor you? Did they coach you well? What was your tradition in the house, in the home? What tradition were you raised with? Put it one side. What do you want to see in that partner? Do you want to see a partner that do not have love for kids? You want to see a partner that does not have a good relationship with their parents? put it the other way. So if your values aligns with what you have written about your partner, if you're in a relationship, if your values align with what you have written with your partner, or do they align, or is there a clash with what you have written down, especially if you're in a relationship? If you're in a relationship by now, you should know all those things I've mentioned. You should know your partner money habits. You should know how they relate to their family. You should know their faith, their religion. You should know how they parent. They would love to parent. So if you have these informations and you have written them side by side, are they clashing? And I'll give you an example. When I mean that, are they clashing? When you talk about money, how do you see money? If you love to make money and save and invest, and your partner loves to make money and spend, and before the end of the month he or she is already looking for money, you know that you have a clashing personality. So if you are family oriented and you love family, you love unity, you love peace, you love your family members to be around you, but your partner do not have the same ideology about family, then you know that your personalities are clashing. Also, your faith, your religion. How do you handle your religion? If your partner is a Christian and you also are a Christian, do you align? You know what you want. If it clashes, you know that you have different personalities. And also, when it has to do with parenting, you need to just sit down and tell yourself the truth. I'm using things that you can relate with. And why am I saying this? Because if you do not know this, when you get into marriage, you will struggle. It's better that you know that this is this person's personality and this is my personality. And if it clashes, if is this something I can cope with, is this something that I can work around? If it's not something I can work around, it's better I look for someone who my values align with. That is why we are doing this exercise. So if you have written your own personality, your own values, match it with your partner's value. Do they align? If they align, good for you. If they do not align, are there things that you can live with? Are there things that you can work around? You can find solutions to? Good for you. If they are not, because you should know your limits, you should know what's your breaking point, you should know what you can take and what you cannot take. So if they do not align, you know what to do. Let's go to number 2. Life goals, do they sync? Are they matching? Do your life go match with who you are with? So if you want to travel the world, but they want to stay in one place, they want to stay in one small town, they just want to have their 3 square meal, they don't aspire to be more, they are comfortable where they are, but you want to see the world, you want to travel, you want to meet people, you want to speak different languages, you want to explore. Would you rather be with someone that just wants a quiet life, that just wants to say, okay, I can pay my bills and I'm okay, I don't need to travel? Remember, we are in the era of Japa, and this Japa season have really had a negative impact on most marriages, because probably the woman wants to travel, but the man is saying, I can't go. I don't want. I'm comfortable here. I've worked all my life here. I'm comfortable here. I don't want to go and start from the scratch. So you need to know if your life goals sync. I'm using travel as an example because that is what you can understand. Because I have there's some people that do not want to do more. They are comfortable. It's not that they have a problem. That is just their way of life. They do not have a problem with you who aspire to be more, but they are comfortable. They don't want that so much push. They don't want to be in the open. They are comfortable with their small Corolla car. They are comfortable with their small bungalow. They are comfortable sending their children to public schools. But there are other people who want to send their children to private universities. There are other people who want to send their children abroad to studies. There are other people who aspire to build a duplex. There are other people who aspire to have so many cars. So if you meet such people, if you are someone that aspires to do more, and you meet a man or a woman who just want who just want to be quiet, who just want to is comfortable in his or her comfort zone, then you will struggle in marriage, because you are pushing somebody that does not want to move. You will keep pushing that person until you get tired, and it becomes a problem in the marriage in the long run. Remember, marriage is not for the now, it is for the future. It's a long-term project. So do your life goal match? Do they align with themselves? Number 3, character over potential. Most people confuse this. Most people look at potential, they don't look at character, they don't look at pattern. So do not marry who you hope they will become. Marry who you are seeing right now. Don't marry because you think that this person will become this person in future. Don't choose a partner, because now we have not dived into marriage. Don't choose a partner because you feel that this person is going to become somebody. You're saying you have that foresight that this person is going to be a rich person. This person, no, marry what you see now. Because yes, there's a space for change. Change is constant. Change is the only constant thing in life. But however, you are not sure of that change. That is why you need to know this person. You need to be the right person to know the right person. So when I mean marry character, if you are with somebody and you know that this person has anger issues, are you aspiring that this person is going to change in the future because you got married to the person? I think your answer, both of us know your answer. It is a big no. If you marry someone that is a cheat, that has cheated on you, if you choose a partner that has cheated on you repeatedly, you know that that is the person's character. So he does not have a potential. That person might not have a potential of change in the nearest future. If you marry someone, if you choose somebody that is stingy, that is the person's character. It only takes the grace of God for the person to change. If you marry someone that is selfish, self-centered, it is the person's character. What we do is that we marry and expect change. Yes, it's okay to expect that with time you grow out of those character, but the utmost truth is that most at times you need to deal or live with that person's character, not that person's potential. So you need to accept the person for who he or she is and live through it. The person might change in the long run, but you're expecting it or trying to push it or marrying the person because you think that at the end of the day, this person is going to change, will keep you unhappy for a very long time. So look at the person's character, not potential. Look at the pattern, not potential. So let's do a quick exercise now. Write down your top 5 non-negotiables. As in, these negotiables are things that you cannot negotiate. You can't bend. There are rules that you can't bend. Write it down. These are the things that you will never compromise on. That you can never compromise on. No matter how in love you are with this man, or how in love you with this woman, write it down. Write it down. I'm going to give you 5 seconds to write it down. Write your top 5 negotiables. And let me explain what negotiables are. Negotiables are, for example, you could say that I am not going to compromise on abuse. I'm not, whether verbal or physical or emotional. I'm not going to compromise on cheating. I don't take it. They are not. Once you cheat on me, I'm out of the marriage. I'm not going to compromise on some kind of behaviors. I just gave you 2 obvious negotiables you can think about. So write it down in 5 seconds. Your own. What are those things that you can never compromise on? Think about it. You are a human being. You know your limits. You know your breaking point. What are those things that if someone does to you right now, you are you will forgive the person because you are a Christian or because you want to move ahead, but there are things that you can never compromise on. So let's write five things in 5 seconds. Let's write 5 things in 5 seconds. So those 5 things are your protection from expensive emotional mistakes. What you have written now, it is your protection from expensive emotional mistakes. Those are the lines you can never cross. And before I go into the next part of this class, I wrote a book titled Love Boundaries. This book explains how to set boundaries, what to set boundaries on. In case you could not do this exercise, this book is on the website. On this website, just go to where you have the ebooks. The book is there. Please get this book and read it. There are so many boundaries you should not cross as a single person. So let's move to the next part of this class. Let's move to the next part of this class, which is the selection framework. So now, we've talked about how to choose right. Um, we talked about understanding the right partner, what you want, do they align. We talked about choose character over potential. So we talked about let your life goals align with let their life goals align with your own life goals. We talked about those 3 things. So in this selection framework, here is my 3-step choosing model. If you're a single person, my 3-step choosing model. Now, step 1, know yourself first. You can't choose if you do not know even yourself. You do not know your needs. You do not know your boundaries, and yes, you do not know your flaws. Before you go searching for someone, or before you go searching for the one or that person that you want to spend your entire life with, work on being that person. You need to know yourself. What are your boundaries? I just mentioned that I have a book, Love Boundaries. What are those lines that you cannot cross? We did an exercise in the last section that I said you should put down 5 things that are not negotiable for you. That is the starting point. Now you know that no, you can't cross this line. What do you need as a person? As a man or a woman? Let's forget about the generic things that say, a man needs desire respect, a woman desires love. You call your name. Blessing is my name. I need this. This is what someone would do for me that I will love this person. This is what someone would do to me that I will love this person. What do you need? as a person, as a human being. What are those things that you need? You need to know yourself like the back of your hands. You need to know yourself to be able to choose that person. Because if you do not know yourself, anything that looks like anything good, you will fall for it. So you need to know yourself. What are your boundaries? Then, what are your flaws? You are a human being and you are not perfect. In as much as you're looking for the right person, you also have flaws. What are your flaws? Are you temperamental? Are you lazy? Are you dirty? Are you rude? Are you harsh? Do you have a nonchalant attitude? Think of those characteristics that people have been complaining about you and face yourself. Look at the mirror and tell yourself the truth that you are flawed in this area. I know the areas of which I am flawed. Tell yourself the truth that this is where I'm flawed. These are my flaws. This is who I am. This is what I like. This is what I need. These are my boundaries. And this is where I have my weak points. Tell yourself the truth. You are not perfect. Accept that you can never be perfect and you are not perfect. So before you find that right person, you need to tell yourself the truth. So before we go into step 2, take that jotter and that pen that you have in your hands and write 3 things. You've written your boundaries. You've written 5 of your boundaries. So now let's write 3 things you need as a human being. Those emotional needs, not material things. See, when you're choosing the right person, let material things be beneath the list. What do you need? Do you need a kind person? Do you need someone that is emotionally available? Do you need someone that is thoughtful? You need to know what you need. Emotional need, not physical need. What do you need as a person? The needs you're going to write is not a need that money can buy. They are needs that money cannot buy. So what are your needs? Write 3 of the needs. Or should we make them 5 because you've written 5 things you cannot compromise about? Do we make them 5? Okay, now let's write 5 things you need as a human being. Emotional needs, please, not materialistic needs. Emotional needs. Put it down. 5 things you need. 5 things you need. Let's write it down. 5 things you need. Now, write 5 flaws you know about yourself. Things you know that are your flaws. Tell yourself the truth. Write it down. Write it down. 5 flaws about yourself. Let me give you a hint. You have friends, you have siblings, you have colleagues. Those things that people have been complaining about you, write it down. 5 of them, write it down. So if you've done this exercise, now you know yourself. This is what I like. This is what I like. These are my limits, my boundaries. These are my emotional needs. Now, these are my flaws. You know. So now you know yourself. So you can identify in people what you don't want for yourself. So now let's go to the step 2, to the selection framework. Date with purpose, not pressure. These are things that our parents never taught us, but you are opportune to learn if you are watching this video. You're opportune to learn if you are in class today. So you need to learn to date with purpose, not pressure. Stop dating out of loneliness or because everyone is getting married or your clique of friends, that all of them they're in a relationship. Anybody that comes your way, you jump into a relationship with that person. You're dating out of pressure. Date with purpose. Date because you see that you like this character in this person. You see that you want to build something with this person, not because other people are in a relationship, not because people are getting married every Saturday. So you need to date with potential. You need to date with purpose, not with pressure. So don't start getting all emotionally stressed because you are the only person in your clique that is single. It doesn't count. So accept that you deserve better. Accept that you deserve someone that you will build life with, you're going to spend the rest of your life with. Like I always say, that there's every tendency that the person you're in a relationship with, you're going to end up with that person. There's a high tendency. That's why I tell people that there's no engagement that is a surprise. Hey, will you marry me? I never expected it. You are in a relationship. What do you think? What were you doing in the relationship? Or do you think that the person is not going to get married to you? Then why are you in a relationship? Or you're just there? Although I know there's some people that are just in a relationship just to catch fun. But if you're watching this video, date with purpose, not pressure. And being in a relationship just to catch fun, that would be class for another time. And as you date with purpose, not pressure, you are able to spot red flags. You're able to see characteristics in your partner or your aspiring partner that you cannot cope with, that you feel that they are dangerous to your peace of mind. You feel that they're dangerous to your health. So when you date with purpose, you You are settled enough to learn this person. You are settled enough to read this person. You are settled enough to know this person. So you can easily pick controlling behavior. You can easily pick disrespect. You can easily pick inconsistency. You can also, in the positive way, notice green flags. You can notice that this person is kind. You will notice that this person is accountable. You know that this person has self-control. But if you date with pressure, you will not get to know this person, because at the back of your mind, you are working with a timeline. At the back of your mind, if you're dating because your friend is dating, you don't want that relationship to spoil because you know your friend is going to laugh at you. You don't want that relationship to spoil because you know you're going to be lonely because your friend is not there. If you are dating with pressure, you are on your toes. You're not relaxed to learn about this person, to know this person, to look at this person, to pray about this person, to watch this person. So you are just dating and you're not spotting things. You're not looking for those things you need in the person. You're not looking for those things you don't want to. You're not looking out for your boundaries. You are just there. You're just dating out of pressure. So date with purpose, not pressure. When you date with purpose, you will spot the red flags. You will spot the green lights. You will not be forced or hushed into marriage because you will know that this person is not good for me. Hope you get it. Don't date out of pressure. Date with purpose. And when you're dating with purpose, you can spot the red flag. You can spot the green flag. Number 3, test before you commit. I love this part. However, know what you're testing. And if you listen to this class, you will know what to test because I've walked you through knowing yourself. So you will know what to test. Deliberately, you know what to test. How do they act under stress? Watch them. Those are where you test your partner. Those are where you test your potential husband or your potential wife. How do they act under stress? Do they back at you? Do they walk out on you? Do they isolate themselves? And because you already know your boundary, you know what you like, you know what you need. If it's not what you need, you know what to do. Number 2, how do they treat people that they do not need things from? People that are beneath them, how do they treat them? How do they treat the waiters? How do they treat their domestic staffs? How do they treat their younger ones? How do they treat their parents? You need to be consciously looking out for these characteristics if you want to choose right and maintain that relationship. You do not want to choose anything that is not kind. You don't want to choose anything that cannot construct, cannot be emotionally intelligent. So anyone, nothing. You don't want to choose anyone that is not emotionally intelligent or emotionally matured. So you need to watch these things deliberately. How do they talk about their exes? Yes, I call this a kind of reverse psychology. How do they talk about their exes? There are some people that you be in a relationship with, or you're trying to start beginning a relationship with. They talk bad about their exes. There's nothing good that comes out of their mouth about these people they have been in a relationship with. Yes, they might be hurting, but if you are hurting, you should not find yourself in another relationship. If you are hurting, if anybody is hurting, the first thing he or she needs to do is to get healed first. Else, he or she will bring the baggage from the previous relationship to the present relationship. So how do they talk about their exes? The way they talk about their exes is how they will treat you. Because if they are still hurting, they're not giving you their all. If they are still hurting, they need to go and heal to be able to give you their all. If not, they will project their hurt on you. You will be, because they do not have the capacity or the privilege to hurt their spouses back. They will not inflict that hotness on you. So you need to let them go and heal first. Then, if they have healed and they are still talking negative about their exes, it's now left for you to decide. How do they talk about their exes? Because if a relationship does not work out, it's not solely one person's fault. It takes two to tango. So you need to watch out how they talk about their exes. Don't just date in restaurants, date in real life. As a single person, when we talk about dates, most people think that it's to sit in a restaurant, eat, buy drinks, and talk about whatever they want to talk about, and they go home and do what they want to do. But don't just date in restaurants. Go to the supermarket, go to church, visit friends, visit family members, sit out, read books, talk about the Bible, talk about friends, not friends secrets at that. Talk about work. Go to other places aside the restaurant. I'm not saying don't go to the restaurant. I'm only saying that the restaurant should not be the only place you date. Go for a walk. Go to the gym. go to the supermarkets, go to church, go to seminars, go to summits together. That is how you did. That's how you see these people, because that's how you know this person. Because if you're only dating in a restaurant, the person will bring out his or her best food. The person will not want to offend you. The person will not want to let you down. The person is giving you a plastic smile, plastic character. Go out. How the person mingle? Go to church, go to church meetings, go to the cinema, go to the field. Just date, not only in the restaurants. Even get stuck in traffic and see how that person reacts when a downfall driver or a driver gets doesn't drive properly. Just see how that person reacts. These moments will reveal the truth about this person. These moments will reveal who these people really are. This is the moment of truth. Not only in the restaurant would you go for dates, go out. Your life will not revolve around restaurants if peradventure you end up with this person. So if you're dating somebody for months, test the person in different surroundings, different environment, different atmosphere, and see how that person is going to live his or her life. And then you can make your decision. Do the person portray who you want to be with? Then you know what to do. And before committing, have the life in 5 years conversation. Before you commit to this person, that okay, I want to spend the rest of my life with this person, ask, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? Yes, I know you might say that the next 5 years is not guaranteed. What if it is guaranteed? What will you do? So you need to ask that question. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? How do you handle money? We talked about money in the first section. How do you handle money? How would you resolve conflicts? You might not have to ask this question directly. You might chip it in when you're having a conversation. You need to be smart to ask this question, because if you ask the questions directly, they will give you a plastic answer. They will give you a constructive answer. So that is why dating aside from the restaurant is very, 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 very good, because it gives you opportunity. It gives you topic to talk about. It gives you a lot of topics to talk about. You are not stranded about raising up conversations. You can say, oh, Daddy, we went here. See how this person behaved. If it was you, how would you have behaved? How would you have handled it? You see the way I